Hello everyone, this is Valentina Galossi. I am an independent curator and the editor of the book Life of Artists in Berlin, an art guide that was published in 2018 and with a focus on 25th contemporary artists living in Berlin. Do You Read Art is a series of interviews for IGTV. I ask visual artists to tell us more about the influence of art books on their own works of art. Today, we talk with Michael Sayles. Michael is a British painter born in Birmingham and based in Berlin. Sayles uses common canvases to paint as a starting point. He plays with them mainly with pencil, paper, and glue, thus creating a detailed structure, a three-dimensionality on the flat canvas. Sayles' work is an encounter of African iconography, colonialism, and Central African influences. In particular, Michael will introduce the art book The Last Supper, edited by Phaidon, together with the making of his outstanding large-scale painting, Hic Niger Est.
I'm here to talk about how I discovered a book whilst I was in the middle of making a painting. This painting is a painting of like a remake of the Last Supper, which I titled Hic Niger Est. And I'm working on this painting, which is basically influenced from bronze reliefs from the Benin Kingdom, and also going back to Renaissance, the bronze reliefs of Donatello and so on and so forth that I've come across in art history. I like it because they tell a story, and this story is depicted, it's figurative, there's tables, there's background, there's foreground, but it's not using paint as the means to tell the difference between the planes on the picture surface. It's actually using the relief of forms, and I love that. So I thought, I don't want to paint, or at least still want to work with the canvas, still want to work with that construct, and then I devised the idea of using the canvas on top of the canvas to give me form and tell my story. And I decided to do a remake of the classic Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper, as I see that as a painting that is purely, it's a fresco, it's painted on the wall, but the whole idea of this painting is purely on construction, from perspective to the table to the window. It's so architectural, and I really wanted to emphasize that aspect because that is ultimately the way I'm approaching painting as a construct. Anyway, so I'm working on this painting where I've replaced all the disciples with heads, African masks, and the masks are sitting on the table, but they're all in the same position as the heads of the disciples and Jesus. So they're positioned exactly the same. They're all kind of facing each other or not, or whatever. And anyway, so I'm working on this painting, and I'm walking past the bookshop on my way to the studio, and I come across this book, which is just weird because I'm actually doing a painting which is about the Last Supper, and I find this book called The Last Supper. Amazing. So of course, and it's in silver. It's like, take me. And it's second-hand bookshop, so I bought it for €1, so it was no money. It showed that I was concerned with something that's been concerned with artists throughout the years, from the beginning, from the beginning of art or the beginning of religion, and then they became artists or whatever. There is a connection, even without me wishing it or willing it. There's a connection between what I do as an artist and the book that I read. And fundamentally, if this was like volumes, this is the last stop of volume 1, and they're going to make a last stop of volume 2, then surely my piece would be in there. And then what would that mean? It would mean that, do you read art?